Did the Habs make a mistake by letting Jesperi Kotkaniemi walk to the Carolina Hurricanes back when the Hurricanes offer sheeted Jesperi in 2021, just before Marc Bergevin got fired? The Canadiens took the first round pick they got in compensation for Jesperi Kotkaniemi and traded it for Christian Dvorak to the Coyotes. And let's say Christian Dvorak hasn't been really good, hasn't been performing well, and his trade value went downhill since he became a Montreal Canadiens. So before getting into the details of this video, I invite you guys to subscribe if you haven't already. I am 49 subscribers away from 3K. If you could help me out reach my objective, that would be amazing, as well as the like button. Let's try and get 70 likes on this video. That would be amazing. So yeah, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, for people who live under a rock and that don't know, was a former first round pick for the Montreal Canadiens, third overall in 2018. It was kind of a controversial first round pick. I mean, he was projected to go like 17th overall, and the Habs decided to draft him third overall because he was one of the only available centers at that spot. Right after him, there was Brady Tkachuk, and a couple of picks after, Quinn Hughes, who's one of the most underrated player out of this draft. He just surpassed Brian Leetch in terms of how fast he achieved the 200 assists in the National Hockey League. It's pretty fair to say that the Habs made a mistake. He was not the best player available at that spot. And when you look at the fact that they traded for Nick Suzuki a couple of months after, it's fair to say that they probably should have picked either Hughes or Tkachuk. And most of the Habs recruiters at that moment said to Marc Bergevin that they should be drafting Tkachuk. But Bergevin decided that he still wanted Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and we all know the rest of it. Kotkaniemi played 3 seasons with the Habs. It was pretty much disappointing. His first season was pretty good, but the 2 seasons after that, we did not see a single hinge of development. He had some decent performances in both playoffs appearances he had with the Habs, but that's pretty much it. The Carolina Hurricanes after that took revenge on the Sebastian Aho offer sheet a couple of years before and decided to offer sheet Kotkaniemi. The Habs decided to not match the offer, so that's how Jesperi became a Carolina Hurricane. Last year, it was pretty much the same that it was with the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, he only got 29 points in 66 games playing with the Hurricanes. And the Hurricanes were one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. And in the playoffs, he only got 2 points, 2 assists, 0 goals in 14 games for the Hurricanes. And at the start of this season, it was pretty much even worse. He only got 5 points in his first 30 games with the Hurricanes this year. But since he got placed with Teravainen and Martin Necas, he's been one of the best players on the Carolina Hurricanes roster. At the moment, he has 31 points in 62 games. That means that in the last 31 games, he has 26 points. Jesperi Kotkaniemi has almost a point per game pace in the last 30 games. So are we witnessing his breakout finally with the Hurricanes? I mean, it's a tendency throughout the National Hockey League that bigger and heavier guys are developing a bit later than other guys. And it might be the case with Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Just imagine if he started the season on that same pace, he probably would be at 50 or 55 points at the moment. And we need to remind ourselves that this guy is only 22 years old, so he still has room for development. He will be in his prime at 26 or 27, and my question is, will he be close to a point per game player at that moment? Being probably the best two-way players on the Carolina Hurricanes roster right now, Mike Hoffman's goal was the first goal allowed by Jesperi Kotkaniemi at 5-on-5 this year. So in the entire season for Jesperi Kotkaniemi, when he was on the ice, the Carolina Hurricanes allowed only 1 goal at 5-on-5, and it was last night. And to top all of those amazing performances by Kotkaniemi, in the shootouts, he went on ahead and scored the game winner, just like Kirby Dach did against Chicago. But yeah, Jesperi Kotkaniemi still hasn't finished the develop yet, and he could be an amazing surprise. I think that his ceiling is going to be a pretty good two-way centerman that can put up at least 50 to 60 points in his prime. He's going to be a bit of a bigger version of a Philip Danault, and Philip Danault is a really useful player for a team in the National Hockey League. So yeah, personally, I think that the Habs did a mistake by not matching Kotkaniemi's offer sheet and by trading the first round pick for Christian Dvorak, because I'm taking Jesperi Kotkaniemi 125 times before Christian Dvorak at the moment. And I'm ready to say it that I made a mistake by calling him a bust a couple of months ago when he was struggling at the start of the season. So yeah, let me know what you guys all think in the comments below. It's Big Boy Tropical NHL. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, share, do anything you want, and I'll see y'all later for another video. Have a nice rest of your day, and bye-bye.